the human temple. At the heart of the teachings of the Order of the Cross is the realization that we are a microcosm of the eternal divine mystery. Within our being is the very human temple, the temple with which the divine spirit can live and move and have its being and abide and manifest through us. And of course, when this is the case, we live in harmony and unison and are well on the way to being an enlightened being. But to understand more of how this wonderful spiritual structure works, we need to understand something more about the chakras. So within our spinal column, we have literally symbolized by the caducees, literally the spiral that moves up and down on either side, symbolized here by the movement through the spinal column. There's the masculine and the feminine side. This is quite common in many Eastern traditions, as well as in Christian mystical traditions like the Order of the Cross. And we have 7 great centers which receive divine energy known as the chakra system. And we're probably familiar with chakras. But let's start and look at the great divine gifts that come through the chakra system. So really we should start from the top, the white light that comes in from the eternal world, which is the culmination of and energizes all of the other chakras. So we have the white light that comes in and moves down through the whole spinal column, energizing us, bringing together our outgoing, electric, masculine energy and drawing in our ingoing, feminine, nurturing energy. We could say here that we have a strong balance to bring together both the masculine and the feminine, the electric and the magnetic, the centrifugal and the centripetal. And this is governed by the breath, the in-breath and the out-breath. Now here in the base, the red chakra, we have the energy which gives us the groundedness of manifestation, of being present in the world, of service that is governed by our uprightness, and that is good and kind and beautiful and compassionate. We then move through to the next chakra, the orange, and this is very much about harmony. It's also about wisdom, creative wisdom, having the wisdom of God. It's also known as the topaz, just as the red chakra can be known as the ruby chakra. And here we have the beautiful movement. In fact, this is, the sardius. The topaz is the orange. So this is the sardius moving through and bringing that enlightened use of creative power and of thought that gives harmony to the understanding, the life and the use of creative forces. We move then, of course, to the topaz, which is the beautiful yellow. And this is, of course, helps us to balance and govern the lower mind so that we act out of counsel rather than reaction. And we move up to the central chakra, which is the heart chakra, the green. And this is, of course, the place of divine compassion. But it's also the center of divine administration, holding the balance for both the lower and upper chakras, because all proceedeth from the heart ultimately. We move here now. From the emerald chakra, we move to the blue chakra over here. We have devotion, speaking our truth, speaking in a divine way, having the life that is committed to that which is the most noble that we can achieve in our lives. We move further and we come up here to purple. And this, of course, represents the wonderful courage of God, the power of God. This is, of course, governed by Michael. And it is here, of course, sometimes talked about as the third eye, where we gain great spiritual insights, where the intuition and the perception and the understanding dance together to create clear and true spiritual vision and clear and accurate understanding of the divine will. And then finally we have the beautiful heliotrope, which the crown chakra, which is that almost indefinable heliotrope pink white, which opens us up to the eternal world, the divine awe, the place where we stand before the awesomeness of the mysteries of the life of the universe. And so the chakras are not alone, they form part of the spiral dance within the being. And in this dance, all the 7 planes of the being must come together in harmony and in unison, because it's so easy for us in life to be pulled out in one direction and to forget to come back to our center, so that the chakras become exhausted, depleted, contracted. And so it is very, very significant as we move in our spiritual journey to be conscious of our breathing. And we must breathe in from the divine, for the breath is the divine masculine animating the divine substance. We breathe in from the divine that we may breathe out and nurture those around us and give to the world. We breathe in and we nurture the substance, and we breathe out and give of the eternal life and the eternal life force. For it is in this dual flow that we create a balance in our lives. And so much is written about it in the mystery of the light within the teachings of the Order of the Cross. But I'd like to conclude with a beautiful reading from the mystery of the light within, just a section which shows us that central to all of this is the heart. For if we would heal our lives, heal our communities, and heal our worlds, then these magnetic streams must proceed through the heart. And as we move up this spiral, we also move up the 3 steps of Jesus Christ and the Lord. And our very auric field changes. We come to where the garments of Jesus hood, and so the purple and the blue become the dominant colours. And as we move up through Christhood, added unto this is the beautiful sardius and the emerald. And finally, when we move into Lord Consciousness, we start to manifest the coat of many colours, as all of these chakras become active in a radiant dance, so that we are actually garmented ultimately in the white light. For everything that goes out must come back to the heart for purification and re-energizing. So I read from the Human Temple, which is citing the mystery of the light within us. The human soul is of divine formation. It shares with the solar world the mystery of the spiral. And the spiral has its sacred center. Within the southern dimension, the divine heart of the soul has its place. In dual motion is the resultant of the magnetic stream which flows from the divine center of the microcosmic cross within it. The action affects the apex of the right angle, formed by the perpendicular and horizontal streams of magnetism set in motion by the principle. It proceeds from the bosom as an intense stream of light that is white when the soul is in divine Christhood. And so when all of these forces come together, we experience what is known as the sacred heart, the heart of the Eternal One, the heart that encompasses all and excludes nothing. And depending on the estate of awakening, the Jesus life, the Christ life, or the Lord consciousness, that heart is an eternal force for healing and restoring this world, our communities, and our planet. And so I read from the mystery of light within, from the Sacred Heart. When a soul is in high Christhood, it has become so much a part of the body of the Lord that it can be used even as the divine elements of the magnetic order are used for the transmission of the mysterious life stream of divine love and wisdom. And so it is that we work daily to bring into balance these wonderful divine symbols of the eternal mystery within our human temple, within our being, that the lights may go forward, gathered in through the Sacred Heart, and proceed to the healing of our lives and those around us, and the redemption of this planet.